The OGL is dead and WotC's declaring war on Python Kobold Press. Yeah, apparently. I guess that'll be my seg into that, right? So I think if everyone hasn't seen this yet, I haven't. The community should not help WotC lie about what this isn't called an OGL. It doesn't foster open gaming. In practice, it doesn't provide a stable business model for third-party publishers, and in this respect is closer to the 4E GSL. So I'm getting basically trying to round up more than one contribution to this school of thought. I'm curious to see if the evidence is mounting, because we mentioned the authorized license, right? The authorized license being the thing that determines, whether you publish under the old LGL or the new one, right? And seeing if that really overrides the fact that it's an open public license. It's a public license, so authorized license or not, they can't really prevent you from publishing under it. So I don't know what they're going for here. I really don't know what they're going for here, but we'll see if this clears anything up or whatever.
I am Ronald, the rules lawyer, and there has been a leak of language from the new OGL. I'm going to say OGL in quotes, version 1.1 that Wizards of the Coast plans to put out. And I am a lawyer, but I am not a lawyer specialized in intellectual property law. And so that's a caveat, but it's pretty clear that
hey, we'll take it.
This is going to be a very different license than what has been called the OGL for the past 22 years now. I've received leaked language that was excerpted from what within Wizards of the Coast has been the working version of the new OGL, taken 1 or 2 days ago, that comes from a trusted source that has been forwarded to me by Mark Seifter, who is with BattleZoo, which is a third-party publisher that makes supplements for Dungeons & Dragons 5e and Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
So the language was leaked by a trusted source and forwarded to him by somebody who works at a third-party publisher who should probably know about this before the public, because the third-party publishers, while they're currently working on projects, probably don't want to be blindsided by it, and therefore WotC would communicate with them what they have in the works so that they can be ready for it and work ahead and adjust for that, is what I'm getting. Okay, so far I'm on the boat. I'm on the boat. So let's see what happens.
And I'm going to show the excerpts on the screen, but first, just a primer on the OGL. The Open Gaming License was put out in 2000 with the release of 3rd edition Dungeons & Dragons. So long as a company does not use trademarks or proprietary things like the Forgotten Realms setting or certain monsters from Wizards of the Coast, you can publish material that's compatible with 3rd edition or 5th edition. The OGL is separate from those rule systems that are released under the OGL. Wizards of the Coast released a system reference document, or SRD, of many of the 3rd edition rules, thus making 3rd edition something that third-party publishers can publish for under the OGL. And Wizards also did the same with 5th edition D&D. There's been talk from various sources suggesting that the OGL would be revoked for the next edition of D&D, which has the operating name of 1D&D, which I call 6th edition. And Wizards of the Coast responded to those on December 21st with this press release saying, assuring people that the new system...
The press release where, the wishy-washy language of, how much we love the game, and we would do everything in our power to make sure that it's the same game that y'all fell in love with and that we fell in love with too. Yes, we've seen this one many times. This is the black box right here. This is the thing that's been, this is the thing that's just been blowing up the community. And if it weren't for the fact that he has leaked information where we can actually go a little further than just speculating on it, I wouldn't bother with this shit anymore. The third-party publishers likely had an NDA because WotC wanted to negotiate with the big boys without burning the bridges in the community. That makes sense. Yeah, and of course NDAs are, where you actually go that enforces NDAs. Hopefully not California. I think, isn't Wizards based in, are they based in, Oregon? Are they in Oregon? Is that right? I don't know.
That 1D&D will be covered by an OGL.
It's up there somewhere.
And
yeah,
also
Lower
saying
Canada.
that they will release version 1.1 of the OGL. They said that the text will be released in early 2023. Before moving on to the leaked language, I'm going to pull up the current OGL version 1.0a, which
I've
has
actually never read. I've never read the OGL.
That in consideration for agreeing to use this license, this OGL,
I need that
contributors,
feature.
which is Wizards of the Coast and anyone else who subsequently publishes under the OGL, grant you a perpetual worldwide royalty-free, non-exclusive license with the exact terms of this license to use the open game content, which includes the 3rd edition and 5th edition SRDs. Perpetual means it is forever, and royalty-free means that the company never needs to pay anything to the contributors for WotC. These are the leaked excerpts from version 1.1, and this was taken from what was the working version within WotC as of a day or two ago. I'm saying this on January 4th on Wednesday. It reads, "This agreement is, along with the OGL non-commercial, an update to the previously available OGL 1.0a, which is no longer an authorized license agreement."
There's the authorized language. Okay, so they're using the authorized language. Okay. Yep, that is basically a statement that WotC cannot legally touch you if you comply with the license. But it is no longer authorized, is the avenue that they're taking, which is what we looked at from that section 9, right? That section 9, that basically made it a forever agreement. So they are invalidating the prior OGLs. Maybe not legally, lawfully, right? Maybe not lawfully. But this is their attempt to do so right here, and strong arm people to publish under the 1.1 OGL. Interesting.
"We can modify or terminate this agreement for any reason whatsoever, provided we give 30 days notice. We will provide notice of any such changes by posting the revisions on our website and by making public announcements through our social media channels."
So they won't even tell you directly. You have to follow them to know.
The new and original content you create. You agree to give us, Wizards, a non-exclusive, perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, sub-licensable, royalty-free license to use that content for any purpose.
So not only would they collect royalties from you for publishing under the OGL, assuming you've got $ right? But they will also use your work royalty-free when you publish under the 1.1. Now that is steaming hot dog shit, dude. What the fuck? Yeah. Those terms suck ass, dude. Wow. That is actually when you can sniff out the bullshit when they release that public statement and they come out with the, we love the game and you love the game and we're not doing anything wrong. Nah, dude. No. Right now, they're basically saying, "Fuck third parties." This is it. This is the smoking gun, right? Fuck third parties. You are going to purchase our material that we publish, not anything that anybody else publishes, because if they publish anything, not only are we going to collect some money from them, but we're just going to fucking take it. We're actually just going to fucking take it. So they're not going to want to publish anything. If WotC has a solid setup, they can take your content and sell it better, faster, and more widely before people know you published it. That is basically what that is basically what this says. If they think that you have a banger, they are going to throw that shit out, and you agree to give us a non-exclusive, perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, sub-licensable, royalty-free license to use that content that you fucking published. Wow, dude. And then if any terms change, they literally will not say anything except if you follow them and find out about it secondhand. They won't even fucking tell you. If you're a publisher, they won't even tell you that they are making changes to it. And I believe you would be liable to have not followed the updated agreement. Wow, dude. That's, okay. I listen, the speculation and the bullshit, okay, it was unfounded. Now people were emotionally charged and worried. I am fortunate enough still not to give a shit because I don't really support third-party products. I never have. But it doesn't mean I don't feel for people, because that is a whole ass community and then some of individuals who enjoy these products and use these products, and this is a very culturally it's basically unraveling years and years of precedent and community that people have founded under these banners, right? It's destroying. It's gonna rock the boat a lot. Sub-licensable. Oh shit, they can sell your rights to merch companies. They could literally take your adventure and sell the rights to a movie company. Holy fuck, dude. Holy fuck, dude. Okay, there it is. Wow, dude.
Purpose. So I'm going to speak first about this language, spell out what's being written here, and then after that, I'm going to discuss how tenable what this new version is trying to do is. First, this first clause that refers to another OGL, a non-commercial one, and that is consistent with what the December 21st announcement said, that they are going to offer different terms to creators who choose to make free, share-alike content and creators who want to sell their products. So the language we're looking at here is for anyone who wants to make anything, any money, using OGL content or SRD content from 1D&D. Next, it says that 1.0a is no longer an authorized license agreement,
which complies with Section 9.
They are trying to revoke the current OGL by saying it is no longer an agreement. Then they say we can modify or terminate this agreement for any reason whatsoever. So they don't have.
But in the actual verbiage of the old OGL, don't they state that it's a forever thing? To where it is, they do mention in Section 9 any authorized license, correct, but at the same time, isn't it something they did state it? See, I don't know, dude. Just keep it going. Keep it going.
Have to give a reason to terminate version 1.1. The only requirement they're giving themselves is to give 30 days notice. So there is no guarantee that if someone were to publish under this OGL, that it will still remain a license after 30 more days. And it says what seem to be two contradictory sentences. It says you own the new and original content you create, and then it says that Wizards has a license to use this content you own for any purpose. Something about owning something, something you learn in law school is that ownership can be thought of as a bundle of sticks, that you can own some aspects of your property, but other aspects of your property can be owned by other people. What you own is a specific number of ways to use your property. So I'm not sure actually what owning actually means. I suppose you can publish it yourself, certainly. But what this read together with the next sentence means is that they can publish what you published themselves using Hasbro's greater marketing reach and agreements with distributors. Nor is it assured that when one does, as their December 21st statement describes, sign up for the license, that Wizards will actually accept your agreeing to the license if they can revoke the license at any time for any reason or no reason. So this seems to be creating a very hostile environment for third-party publishers, not simply those that make over $750,000 in income a year, but third-party publishers of all sizes.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we keep on talking about it in the context of the people making the $750,000, but anybody who makes money, if you're the diamond in the rough, where, you know, there's a bunch of third-party publishers and only 20 of them actually make a lot of money, right? And a lot of money, I mean, listen, 50,000 is a lot of money to me, same thing as 750,000, right? But even if you're the little guy, the diamond in the rough, that, you know, you're just putting your shit out there, publish under the OGL, and, you know, it's gonna sit in a local game store for a few months until they scrape it off the sides, and you know, Wizards can take that even, right? And they say, holy shit, this is a good ass book, right? They can say, this is a good ass book. Let's send it. And then they make so much money off of your back, off of your work, that no one else even knew was out there before Wizards picked it up. That's shameless, dude. That is shameless. 82 subs, a lot of money too. Yeah, true. Yeah, true. We take all we can get here. That's right.
Because the essence of the OGL since 2000 has been that you can have a viable business or make something that will give you at least a little income.
Yeah, not anymore.
And be assured of that if you put the time and effort and money into publishing under it. But under this, there's no guarantee that the license will last any longer than 30 days. This is similar to the 4th edition GSL, which maybe the community should start calling this now.
We've
GSL.
Heard a lot about this already.
And I'll pull that up on the screen. Here is what I could find of the GSL for 4th edition. It was kind of hard to find, and this seems to be an accurate reproduction of it.
This is on the Dungeons and Dragons online wiki. Why did they have the 4th edition GSL on the DDO wiki when DDO never even went past 3.5? Now I know, okay, I'm not ignorant enough not to listen. I know that DDO is still around, right? I know that people still play it. People still stream the fucking game. Now this is tried and true a 3.5 game, but I'm of the understanding that it was Neverwinter, the newer MMO Neverwinter, that properly adapted 4th edition and therefore probably needed to have the GSL in mind, right? But I'm surprised they found this on the fucking DDO wiki. I don't think DDO touched 4th edition at all, did it? I see so many streams for it. Whenever I look for D&D stuff, I have to keep on specifying the actual D&D category because I keep getting the MMO, yeah. And I've never actually watched anyone play the MMO. I might have to do that at some point. I'm not sure.
On DDO Wiki, updated February 2009, and under section 10.1 termination, it says, Wizards may terminate this license and the rights granted hereunder automatically upon written notice to licensee. Well. It also said the effect of termination. Upon termination for any reason other than a termination resulting from the licensee's delivery of a valid termination notice. So if that includes Wizards deciding to terminate the license under 4E, the licensee will immediately seize all use of the licensed materials and will destroy all inventory and marketing materials in licensee's possession bearing the compatibility logo. So a company could have put all the money into actually physically producing their content, but if Wizards decided to end the relationship, you were obligated under this license agreement to destroy it. I don't know how enforceable that is, but that is the terms of that.
The licensee will destroy all inventory and marketing materials and licensees. So, if you're a local game store, you wouldn't necessarily have to destroy your product if it actually ends up on your shelves. It would only be literally the licensee, the person who published it, that would actually need to destroy it, but they could still keep the others in circulation if, they're obviously out there, used bookstores, whatever it is, right? So, okay, that makes sense. It's still not good. No, it's not good. It's not good. No, I'm chewing on this. I'm chewing on this because it's like, if we're moving in this direction, and WotC just bought D&D Beyond, I think, guys, my trumpeting of there being a battle pass, it is going to happen, okay? What I'm seeing right here, it feels like they're actually just trying to destroy all semblance of published material, where from now on they are going to try and pump everything only through a digital platform, and they're going to make licensing agreements so hard to keep up with when they're malleable within 30-day ranges that nobody will want to publish anything physically. And obviously WotC will own the online sphere and distribution, and people will exist their character sheets will be on D&D Beyond. They will be playing on the VTT. They will have, it'll be accessible via phone, tablet, whatever, so that people can access these things at their home games, at their home tables. But it feels like to me, published materials are trying to be shunted out the door so quickly that they can erect this D&D Beyond empire and really pump material solely through that medium, is what I'm getting.
And although we haven't seen the effect of termination under this draft new license, this is telegraphing that it may not be profitable to even begin your third-party venture if they can terminate it at any time for any reason.
Why would you
even
ever make a physical copy of anything?
From the 4EGSL, this makes it a risky venture. But we might see that clause in this version. Next, this language saying that WotC can use the content published under this license for any purpose, and royalty-free, the same word used in 1.0a, to protect third-party creators, is now here to protect WotC against having to pay any royalties on publishing what you have created.
What a fucking joke.
They can publish and possibly crowd you out after having terminated the license with regard to you. Because note that this part is irrevocable. They can revoke their obligations to the third-party publisher, but once the content is created under the license, so long as they give 30 days notice, they have an irrevocable right to use your
That's a fucking joke. Yeah, that's a fucking joke. I can't even, like, dude, again, this doesn't, ultimately, okay? Again, I don't support third-party content. I've never been a fan of it. What little examples I've seen, because again, I'm going to, expose my own ignorance and admit to the vultures and the vitriol that yes, I am not well versed in the things that they enjoy. Okay, I'm not. But it does not ultimately matter to me what happens here. But the same way I felt for Star Wars fans when the second movie of the newest trilogy came out, I fucking hurt for them. Okay, I hurt for them at this. This is fucking nuts, dude.
Content. So I won't say much on the implications this has for the hobby. I just thought it was important to get this text out there and then comment on how viable this is, because I am not sure this is viable. Now, again, my specialty is not intellectual property law, but this language where they try to say 1.0a is no longer an authorized license agreement seems to conflict with Section 9 of 1.0a, which I will put up.
Interesting. He's actually pulling up Section 9.
Now, this is the 2000 OGL, that they can update the license. Wizards or its designated agents may publish updated versions of this license, which they are doing now. They're calling it an update.
Right.
You, the third-party publisher, may use any authorized version of this license to copy, modify, and distribute any open game content originally distributed under any version of this license. This clause seems to future protect.
So how do you take it?
Content and creators who publish 3rd and 5th edition compatible products. However, I can see Wizards pointing to this word authorized and say that 1.0a is no longer an authorized version of the license. This is referring to 1.1 and simply says that you may publish under 1.1 anything that was already distributed. So they're trying to supplant and revoke the open gaming license in favor of this new language. And note,
the part I read earlier of version 1.0a grants a perpetual license while not using the word irrevocable. Those who are more knowledgeable about the legal possibilities of these words should comment. We're going to read the comments, which is going to be full of vitriol and people that act like lawyers that aren't, I'm sure, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, I've learned YouTube comments are a strange beast, but yeah, that seems perpetual while not using the word irrevocable. Guys, for my own benefit here, real quick, okay? For my own benefit, real quick, okay? Perpetual. Never ending or changing. Never ending or changing. Occurring repeatedly. So frequent as to seem endless and uninterrupted. Okay. So, that apparently means about the same goddamn thing. But lawyers would argue, yeah, wow, okay.
That they use that same term. This is that 1.0a is no longer an authorized license agreement. I will not comment on the strength of Wizards' likely legal argument, and I don't know whether that will be their argument, but I will say that I am on the side of third-party publishers, large and small, who are all going to be affected and have a much harder time publishing content compatible with 5th edition and 6th edition of D&D. I also don't know if they will go after Paizo. I'm honestly...
You know what's disgusting is that they named... Okay, so 5th edition, the prototype name for 5th edition was D&D Next. And we thought, cool. That doesn't mean anything. Now when we get shit like this, how do you interpret the name 1D&D? They are quite literally taking your product and making it one with their own. These clever motherfuckers are subtly telling you that they in fact will actually invoke this language, and they will rip your shit straight from your hands the moment you put it into print, and they're gonna sell it under their name and reap all the benefit, dude. That's what they're fucking doing, man. Wow. That is actually what 1D&D means. That is what 1D&D means, dude. Unfucking real.
A bit surprised because my logic up till now, until seeing this leak, was that if they wanted to go after Paizo's ability to publish a successful competitive game, which they have had, they would have done that 12, 13 years ago. Perhaps they're limiting their enforcement to content produced under the new 6th edition. I think this also means that all claims that Wizards is making that the new 6th edition is compatible with 5th edition should now be seen with a lot more suspicion, because that is something they can tell a future court against a publisher that tries to publish something that is 5th edition compatible, that it is trying to skirt the OGL.
And that's why they said, no, guys, it's not actually backwards compatible. It's only for the adventure supplements that we published that anything is backwards compatible. At first we think, okay, that's just because we want you. We know that you know that we want to purchase this material and use it. And obviously, you know, like the adventure supplements that they're even publishing right now, they want to make sure when 1D&D comes out in, I think, 2024, right, that you're still gonna, you know, feel good purchasing, what is it, Shadow of the Dragon Queen or whatever the fuck the new Dragonlance book is that came out, right? They're gonna, we think it's just, you know, they want to make sure that, you know, they can still make money on the stuff they published before, but no. Now it's, oh, well, if you publish something that's compatible with 5th edition, but not 1D&D, well, technically, since 1D&D is backwards compatible, you should be publishing under the 1.1. Yeah, I mean, fucking A, dude. Holy shit. Okay.
Because it is compatible with 6th edition in every way but name. And I also think that it, in the end, is healthy for the hobby if WotC's aggressive financial decisions make many players consider more than just one system. And we can have more of a flourishing, a new renaissance, shall we say, in the hobby. So those are my thoughts. If you like it, if you want to see more from me on this issue, I do plan to release something when Wizards releases the final version of the OGL, which we might have just seen an excerpt from. I also want to thank Mark Seifter and Roll for Combat, which provided these excerpts to me and direct people to support them by watching their full discussion about this leaked language. And yeah,
I'm
check
not gonna
out
watch
the rest of my
video,
channel.
though,
I've
guys.
been also putting out videos about 1D&D and my thoughts on its design as a game. So that's it. I'm Ronald, the rules lawyer, and thank you for watching.
Thank you, Ronald. Guys, we all know who the rules lawyer is. Okay? Good shit. Much appreciative of that. We will read some comments. Additions. The leaked language is... You guys can see that. Okay. The leaked language is consistent with what Nerd Immersion reported, that WotC was reaching out to D&D creators, inviting them to get information about the updated OGL, but under condition of a non-disclosure agreement, which is exactly what Phobo said. Thanks to Nerd Immersion for sharing that and initiating the open D&D movement. Thank you for breaking the NDA. Thank you. Because if you're not California, you're probably not going to be able to enforce the NDA shit anyway. Who cares? And honestly, this grimy shit, man, get it out there. Stop the count. Get it out there. The public, the voters need to know the truth. Further language that was shared by Mark Sefter, I think is how he said the name, on the Roll for Combat stream, linked in the video description. You waive any right to sue. You waive any right to sue over our decision on these issues. We are aware that if we somehow stretch our decision of what is or is not objectionable under these clauses too far, if we go too far, we will receive community pushback and bad PR, and we are more than open to being convinced that we made a wrong decision. But nobody gets to use the threat of a lawsuit as part of an attempt to convince us. Okay, I remember what I was going to say now. Guys, Hasbro has not had a good year, okay? Guess who else hasn't had a good year? Everybody, okay? Now, when you zoom out the chart and you look at COVID, okay? Look at the stretch of the COVID crash and then the Phoenix-like revival, right? Everybody flourished, dude. Everybody had a great fucking time, okay? And in the last year, oh no, they lost some profit. Oh, gosh darn dang it, dude. This suggests they reserve the right to say no to what is objectionable. This conforms with the requirement in their December 21st, 2022 statement, the thing with all the flowery language, that all who earn $50,000 or more annually must let us know what you're offering for sale. And now that we know that they can just take your shit, they're going to directly see, hey, this is making money. This is making money. We're going to take that. It's not even anymore the fact that they can see what their competitors are doing outright with their own product, essentially, right? And make something equivalent. No, they're just going to take it. That's all it is. And they reserve the right to say no to what is objectionable. Remember when I talked about the Book of Vile Darkness the other day? Remember when we talked about the mind rape spell? Just like the ear rape? Yeah. No. The moment you release anything that's deemed too edgy, the moment your orc is a bad guy, and he is irredeemably bad, nah. You can't publish that. This is written strangely. And arguably, see right now I wish I had the little yellow spotlight he has. It's pretty fucking cool. This is written strangely, and arguably makes the leak look less credible, and was perplexing to people on the stream. But there is precedent for WotC's attorneys being cheeky in their language. See this quote from their fan content policy. Number 5. No bad stuff. We have the right to stop or restrict your use of Wizards IP at any time, for any reason or no reason, including when we think your use is inappropriate, offensive, damaging, or disparaging, and we'll make that call in our sole discretion. If this happens, you must immediately take down your fan content or face the Demogorgon. There is no such thing as the Demogorgon, it's only Demogorgon. It's a proper noun, okay? Stranger Things got it wrong, I don't know why you're supporting that shit. Yeah, the big bad is back from being on loan, except you never loaned out the Demogorgon because the Demogorgon isn't a real thing, okay? If you can't tell, I was kind of triggered by that when Stranger Things did that, okay? I'm still, but it is what it is, right? And I'm not going to read the fan content policy again because, dear lord, it's a fucking mess. No, actually, what are the replies on this? Unfucking believable, me too. Also an eternity. So Donkey says he's an attorney. I said an eternity, I'm dumb. Also an attorney and also not an IP attorney. However, your comment that they might be attempting to be cheeky with the language could easily also be just sloppiness. In other words, in two words that are not one word, they may have been trying to say that they can modify version OGL 1.1 at any point and supersede the previous versions of OGL 1.1 at any point and just got sloppy with the language. Maybe. I don't know that. That's some speculation, but okay, supposedly an attorney, a YouTube attorney. In any event, I agree completely with your assessment that few would consider outlaying money or time on projects using 1.1 with WotC having the ability to behead the project and or take it for themselves at any point. Sans compensation. Yeah, they will not pay you, they'll just take your shit. They're going to see, you're going to report to them how much money you're making, and then they're going to take your shit. Because you have to report it, and you just have to sit there and take it when they take your shit. I, too, think this sounds inequitable, and doubt a court would enforce it, but it still creates too much risk for a potential producer. It is in effect an OGL in name only, because no one except small DM Guild types would produce under this license, except DM's Guild is its own separate thing, I think, but who cares? Yeah, it's silly. That's just silly. Yeah, why would anyone use this license? Yeah, at that point, they're jumping the ship. They're gonna make their own game. They're gonna make their own game.